What if I told you one man stole $4.5 billion, not from a bank, but from an entire country, and instead of hiding in the shadows, he walked red carpets in Hollywood. He partied with supermodels, financed blockbuster films, and bought mansions in Beverly Hills. The world saw a billionaire living the dream, but behind the champagne and flashing cameras was one of the largest financial frauds in modern history. And then, he vanished. So how did he do it? And where is he now? Jho Low did not come from Hollywood royalty, nor was he a tech genius from Silicon Valley. Yet by his early 30s, he was living like a global superstar. Private jets carried him across continents. Celebrities attended his lavish parties. Champagne flowed endlessly under the lights of Monaco and Las Vegas. To the public, he was a mysterious young billionaire with powerful connections. But financial insiders began to whisper, where did his money really come from? How did a relatively unknown businessman suddenly gain access to billions? The lifestyle was too extravagant, too sudden, too perfect. And behind that perfection, a silent financial storm was building. The story began with a sovereign wealth fund called 1MDB, created to secure Malaysia's economic future. It was meant to fund infrastructure, energy projects, and national development. Billions of dollars were raised from global investors with promises of growth and prosperity. But almost immediately, large sums began moving through complex international transactions. Money flowed through Swiss banks, Middle Eastern financial institutions, and offshore accounts. The transfers were layered, disguised, and rerouted through shell companies. On paper, everything looked legitimate. But investigators would later discover that billions had quietly disappeared, and someone had carefully designed the maze. While Malaysia believed its future was being built, Jho Low was building something else entirely. He purchased luxury penthouses in New York and Los Angeles. He bought priceless artwork from Picasso and Basquiat. He spent millions on jewelry and gifts for celebrities. He even financed the Hollywood blockbuster, The Wolf of Wall Street. Ironically, a film about financial greed was funded by allegedly stolen money. The parties were legendary. The spending was limitless. But behind the glamour, regulators in multiple countries were beginning to ask uncomfortable questions. And the first cracks in the illusion were starting to show. As global banks reviewed suspicious transactions, red flags multiplied. Compliance officers noticed unusual fund transfers linked to 1MDB. Journalists began digging into public records. Whistleblowers quietly shared documents. Suddenly, headlines erupted across Asia and Europe. Billions were unaccounted for. Governments demanded explanations. The United States Department of Justice launched an investigation, calling it one of the largest kleptocracy cases ever pursued. Assets were frozen, properties were seized. Luxury yachts were tracked across oceans. But as the net tightened, Jho Low had already begun to disappear. The scale of the fraud shocked the financial world. Approximately $4.5 billion was allegedly siphoned from the Malaysian fund. The money had been split into layers of transactions so complex that tracing it required international cooperation. Politicians were implicated. Bank executives faced charges. Entire financial institutions were fined billions. The scandal shook public trust in global banking systems. How could so much money vanish without detection? How did so many institutions fail to stop it? The answers revealed a dangerous mix of power, secrecy, and greed. And at the center of it all was a man who was nowhere to be found. Luxury assets once flaunted on social media were seized by authorities. A super yacht worth hundreds of millions was confiscated. Mansions in Beverly Hills were taken over by the government. Rare artwork was auctioned to recover funds. Each seizure told part of the story. Each asset revealed another layer of deception. But the most important asset, the man himself, remained missing. Rumors spread that he was hiding in Asia under protection. Others claimed he had altered his appearance and identity. The world searched, but there was no confirmed sighting. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Meanwhile, courtrooms filled with testimony. Former bankers described internal pressure to approve suspicious deals. Financial experts explained how shell companies were used to mask ownership. Government officials defended their roles under public scrutiny. The scandal reshaped political landscapes in Malaysia. Public outrage led to dramatic shifts in leadership. The case was no longer just about money, it was about national betrayal. Citizens demanded accountability. Global media followed every development. But despite arrests and convictions of several individuals, the mastermind remained elusive. The international manhunt expanded. Interpol notices were issued. Intelligence agencies tracked financial trails across borders. Every possible lead was examined, yet no confirmed capture followed. Some believed political protection shielded him. Others suspected diplomatic complexities made arrest difficult. Each year that passed deepened the mystery. Was he living quietly under a new identity? Was he protected by powerful allies? Or was he simply one step ahead of global authorities? The silence surrounding his whereabouts became as fascinating as the crime itself. The 1MDB scandal forced governments worldwide to reconsider financial transparency. New regulations were introduced. Banks strengthened compliance systems. Global cooperation against financial crime intensified. The case became a textbook example of modern kleptocracy. It demonstrated how globalization, while powerful, can also enable sophisticated fraud. But it also revealed the fragility of trust in institutions meant to protect public wealth. One man had allegedly manipulated an entire system, and the consequences would echo for years. Today, the legend of the man who bought Hollywood remains unfinished. Billions have been partially recovered, but not all. Court cases continue, political scars remain visible, and somewhere, possibly beyond the reach of extradition treaties, Jho Low may still be watching the world that once celebrated him. His story is not just about stolen money. It is about illusion, influence, and unchecked ambition. The greatest mystery is not how he stole billions. The greatest mystery is whether justice will ever truly catch up with him.